Hey guys, Bobby here, and with the recent announcement of the new camera gimbal from DJI, the Ronin SC, and all of the news coming out surrounding this new stabilizer, I wanted to share with you from the perspective of a wedding filmmaker 5 reasons that you should not buy the new DJI Ronin SC. Now don't worry guys, I'm not preemptively hating on this gimbal. I will also have a video going over 5 reasons that you should buy this gimbal. But if you're already leaning a certain direction, this might make you rethink some things, or it might solidify that choice. So my first reason to not buy the Ronin SC is the payload of 2 kilograms or 4.4 pounds. This means that it's really only built for mirrorless cameras and limited lenses, which might not work with your preferred setup. Another interesting note is that if you take a look at Parker Walbeck's hands-on review, you'll see that many lenses pushed his camera too far back, which hit the rear motor, essentially making them unusable, even though they were well within that limit. It also doesn't stack up against Zhiyun's most likely competitor, the Weebill Lab, which has a 3 kilogram weight limit, so I would have expected a bit of a higher payload. Next up is the price, which comes in at $439. I don't really understand this pricing. It is essentially making you choose between a trade-off of payload limit and overall weight, which makes sense in theory, but I think a price point of $399 or less would have made more sense. The third reason to not buy the new Ronin SC is in the features. Force Mobile is a new feature that they are pushing, but in my opinion, this feels more like a gimmick than an actual professionally functional feature. Even taking weddings out of the equation, where I obviously wouldn't use this, if I was on a film set and wanted to use this, it really isn't useful, as the phone used to control the gimbal doesn't show framing or image or anything from the camera. This leads me into other app related things like Active Track, which actually works quite well on their drone lineups, and I expect it to work well here. But in the perspective of a wedding filmmaker, I typically wouldn't use this on a wedding film. Of course, I acknowledge that Active Track can definitely have its uses in other areas, and it does seem to work quite well. Next up is the focus wheel. Yes, it is only on the left side, which I always complain about, but it is actually more than that. Early functionality of the Ronin-s focus wheel was limited, and Sony functionality specifically was lacking on the Ronin-s, even though it was expected to work or get sorted out at some point. But since that has yet to happen, I assume that will still be the case with the Ronin SC. And since that is a large portion of the video market, it's an important feature that you either have to go without or you need to spend extra money to get the focus motor. And last but not least is the fact that you are buying a DJI product, and while I do think the reliability is there, the customer service in most experiences is not. Their biggest competitor, Zhiyun, is no better or even arguably worse, but you should still know what you are getting into, which is that if something were to go wrong, it can be difficult to get some resolution. So there it is guys, my 5 reasons you should consider not buying the new DJI Ronin SC based on everything that I have seen thus far. I still think this can be a solid option, but it's always important to think about what is most important for you and to not get caught up in the hype. I plan to have another video out shortly going over the 5 reasons that you should consider this gimbal, so make sure to check that out as well. And as always, leave any questions below in the comments, and I'd love to have you like this video and subscribe for more videos like this in the future.